The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks edition for Monday, December the 10th on the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Download that Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the College Basketball Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You guys are stuck with me tonight. Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Pick Dundee is out. You know, he's being a good husband, future father. He's doing family stuff. He'll be back, and he said we could go later. I said, no, I got it. I got it tonight. This is the shittiest slate of the year. We got the shittiest week of the year with finals week, so bear with us this week. I think we'll have, 10 to 15 games each and every night, so it's going to be a little slow over here on the College Experience, but we got some creative topics tonight to pass, I guess, along the time. So, but if you're wondering who the other guy is, you're used to seeing him, the man behind the scenes, the man that makes the College Experience go round and round. And he drives a LeBaron, too. He's healthy, too, everybody. He got his sleep. He's ready to go for a new week in college hoops. He is Noah Bieniek, a.k.a. the Storm and LeBaron from Michigan. Noah, what's up, brother?
No promises on the healthy part. You know, there might be some spare coughs. It's just the asthma kicking in every once in a while. But no, dude, I'm ready to jump into this. You know, like, whenever I miss a show, I just sit behind the scenes. So sometimes it's hard to know if you're a listener that Noah is not in the show. But you get Colby like making up a story about how the LeBaron's just across town or some other country. Today Colby, he's just at a parade. So it's his last, Christmas parade before he becomes the Christmas father. Man. So some fun times over there. But yeah, I mean, he left us a great slate to pick. I gotta admit.
I mean, you're not excited for we do have day basketball, by the way. We have Commerce and Northern Colorado, so it's good in my book. But you know what, guys? You knew we weren't just gonna go two-man side by side. We're gonna go third man in the box, and let's bring him from behind the scenes. You guys know him from the past on the College Experience. He is Mr. Nick Famila. Sorry, I can't fucking talk right now. Nicholas Famila, and also known as CBB Nick. Nick, welcome back to the College Experience. Good to have you back, brother. I know we did a couple previews together. So what's up, man?
What's good, guys? Going good. Had a good day. Good last couple of days of college basketball. Looking forward to this really wagon of a slate tomorrow. But yeah, this weekend was really good. Really good games this weekend.
Indeed. Noah, why don't you lead it off here with our recap, and we'll just dive through this. By the way, Sunday was a good day. Another winning day for me, 12 out of the last 14 in the green. We'll touch on each and every game. I won a couple lock battles. We'll touch on each and every one. That's why Colby's ducking the show. He got slaughtered in the fucking lock battles today. That St. John's fucking shit out of here. And Sparty. You get both of them out of here. Way overrated.
Yeah, I was a bit weak on the lock battles too. 3-3 day for me personally. I don't think I won a lock battle. Nick, personally, did you tally up how you did today?
Yeah, I just college basketball talk. I went 5-1. I was on the opposite of a couple of those games. I actually had Boston College plus the 5.5 and the Nebraska plus the 3.5. So those ones were, a little bit of a sweaty game towards the end. But yeah, college basketball went 5-1. It would have been a clean sweep if Colorado and Miami got 2 more points for me at the end. But we'll take a 5-1.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just shove it right into my face. I'm loading up our picks page to make sure that I don't forget which picks I actually had yesterday's show. But the open it up. I mean, the first game on today's slate was Fordham in a barn burner, knocked off North Texas 60-59 we were kind of all over this one, Mac. This is a lock of ours. It might have even been a triple lock with Fordham. North Texas struggles away from home. Any takeaways other than that?
Yeah, no, it kind of was a home game for Fordham. And by the way, everybody, don't bet at 4:00 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning drunk, because my dumbass took North Texas last night. Thank God, right before the game, I checked my bet slip to make sure I got it in. I said, no. I wanted Fordham. So I had to throw a little bit more on Fordham to get a little bit in the green, but should have been a bigger win for me. But yeah, we were all over that Fordham lock. That was a triple lock of ours last night. So
yeah,
don't drunk bet at 4:30 in the morning, everybody. That's the life lesson from Moneyline Mac tonight.
All right. Nick, did you catch any of this game?
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it. I wasn't personally on it, but I'm not surprised that Fordham could have got it done. North Texas is kind of a weird team for me. I kind of just have to figure them out still going further on in the season this year.
Yeah, personally, I didn't catch this, and the chat knows that I have weird sleeping hours. I actually, by the grace of God, woke up today to a couple of notifications saying that the audio was bad on the podcast side of things with the show. So I was able to fix that around like 10:25-ish. Sorry if that impacted anybody's typical listening schedule to the show, but things happen. Technology doesn't always cooperate, especially when you're working with one Colby Dant. Providence, they win by 20 against Brown, 74-54, and they cover that minus 15.5. Colby locked up Brown. Mac, did you lock up the Brown guys?
I locked up the Brown guys. They're fucking terrible, man. I'm done with this team. I can't keep taking them. They keep letting me down. But I will say they beat Rhode Island out right on the money line, so got a little bit back earlier in the week. But Brown, man, Brown is so up and down. They are so up and down. You can't really put a thumb on this team, man. The Cocaine Bears, I don't know, man. Hit or miss.
They are. Nick, anything on the Friars getting the win by 20?
Yeah, I mean, Providence at home is a kind of a wagon, right? They're shooting 66% from the field. Brown, like Max said, this team, I don't know. I wanted to hop on them early on in the season, but I mean, seeing their last couple of performances, I'm staying away from Brown.
Yeah, Providence is now 7-0 at home, and Bryce Hopkins had 17 points in this game, so another good game from him.
Yeah, we got to stop betting against Providence at home. And, when Brown wins, love the Brown guys. When Brown loses, I'm racist and I hate the Brown guys. Just kidding, everybody. You got to make a little bit of light. But, yeah, no, the Brown did not look good today. So
Boston, 73, Wagner, 59. BU, not only do they cover the plus 3.5, they win this thing outright. I was on the Terriers for the show. Colby took Wagner. Mac, where were you on this game? What'd you think?
I had no feel. So I took Boston in the points. So kind of was a flip of a coin, just looking at it. A good win for Boston. I felt like they were due. So good win over Wagner. Wagner's up and down too, man.
Yeah. I think we kind of talked about BU on our preview show a couple of weeks ago, and I thought they were going to be a little bit better this year as compared to last year, but I was leaning Wagner at home on this one, like on our picks page, but yeah, no real action for me on this one.
BU's Otto Landrum dropped 19, 8, and 6 in this game. Pretty impressive. Next one on the slate was Iowa State, just absolutely drummed Prairie View. I was on the Cyclones. I was on the Cyclones. I mean, they won 107-56. They won this thing by 51 points. And Prairie View put up 56 points. Pretty impressive showing, albeit against the Prairie View team that has looked teeter-totterish so far this season, Mac, right?
Yeah. I told Colby wanted to lock up Prairie View. I said, dude, don't. Hey, Ames, Iowa, man, like they're a wagon. They're going to roll in Big 12 play whenever they play at the Coliseum. Now, when they hit the road, fade their ass.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to stand in front of Iowa State right now, so I'll keep riding them until the wheels fall off.
Until they hit the road.
Yeah, exactly.
This one was one of the Courtney Love games of the day. Winthrop, they go to Little Cock and they blow them out 85-68. We were all tricked by the Trojan man and took the points there. Mac, Winthrop looks kind of good.
Yeah, they are good. I like the spot for Little Cock, but they got drilled right off the bat. This is bad play by us. So took it on the chin here early, but don't worry, we're about to heat up here during this slate that we're about to dive into.
Yeah, Winthrop's offense has been pretty decent. I'm actually surprised at how good they've been. I was kind of with you guys, like leaning towards Little Rock, but I mean, Winthrop came out and smashed them, so good for them.
Yeah, I thought it was an okay spot here as like Winthrop. They were 1-2 on road games so far this season, only a 3-point win against Coastal Carolina. I was like, you know what? Coastal's not that great. Little Rock will throw a pick on them on the website. Didn't quite work out. Also, what didn't quite work out, I think all three of us were on Princeton last night, Mac, right? St. Joe's outlasts the Tigers 74-70.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a great win. Princeton had the lead early on, but I mean, St. Joe's big-time win. One of the final unbeatens finally falls. Well, it was Princeton's first loss since the Sweet 16. So
yeah,
Princeton's been playing freaking good ball, man. But yeah, I mean, great win for St. Joe's. I mean, you look at what St. Joe's has done in the non-con. They almost won at Kentucky. They're at 8-2. They beat Villanova, beat the shit out of Villanova, beat Temple. This is a good team headed into A-10 play. Glad I didn't bet this because I probably would have done Princeton, but I thought it was a coin flip game.
Nick, what'd you think? This was a pretty good game today.
Yeah, I was on St. Joe's money line. I was talking with my buddy Tyler, and I think we were kind of getting maybe not, like a little bit of a discount on St. Joe's being how good Princeton's been, being a 9-0 team heading into St. Joe's. And like Mac touched on it, like they went to OT versus Kentucky. They beat the shit out of Villanova. Like this team can play with the big dogs. So I think we were getting a little bit of a good price on St. Joe's at home. So yeah, I was on them on the money line. So that was a good game.
And Mac, this next one, I think you just need to be put in timeout. You were the one that you were kind of like the flag bearer for Detroit yesterday, because Northwestern 91-59. This is never close.
Well, I mean, they're getting 25. I mean, it's usually not going to be close when you're getting 25. You're just betting the spot, and you sometimes you're going to eat shit on these, but we definitely have been on the right side of more of these shit spots. But Northwestern has just beat number one in the country. They're due for a letdown. Unfortunately, Detroit and these goddamn Michigan teams keep fucking screwing me. Detroit's god-awful. Terrible.
Detroit, they're a different roster than what they were perceived to be in the preseason. You just got to give them time. You can't even back them until Horizon League play when they'll be at home in some of these games, and then actually they're backable here, but you just got to let their price tank in the market, and then you can slide back in later because they're still like 1-8 ATS or 1-9 ATS. Yeah. It's absolutely nuts, and they were not even close to this line. Nick, any takeaways from this game?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think once they get into Horizon play, we'll see some weird spots where they might even be able to pull some wins out. The Horizon gets real weird when they're in conference play. Like I think we saw even like Oakland played earlier in the season, who has been like a wagon, but they got like whopped by IPFW like a week ago or whatever. But yeah, this Detroit Mercy team is really shit. They're not very good.
I have a public. Go ahead.
I was saying this is the point of the day. So I started 1-5 today, and then I got really rolling here in a second. But I'm like, you know what? You've been rolling. You've won 11 out of 13 days, and you decided that you were smarter than everybody, and you bet Brown at Providence, Little Cock, and then you bet Detroit. You deserve to take it on the chin one day and be humbled. So at this point, I was like, well, let me get upstairs to the fridge and just start pouring them back because I'm about to take it on the chin today. But, hey, it turned around the momentum of the day is what I've learned. So no more Detroit for me, no more Little Cock, and probably no more Brown. I can't do this for three teams anymore. They hurt too much to watch.
So, guys, I have a public service announcement. There's an update to my Indiana basketball power rankings. I got Purdue at number 1. Indiana State's number 2 in the state.
Yes.
Ball State's third.
Indiana State
third. Ball State's above Indiana. Ball State beats SIU Edwardsville 83-71. The Cards are now 8-2, I believe. I looked at this earlier. 8-2.
That guy's a good coach.
Yep.
So they've got a dance with Indiana State next. Neutral court, Indianapolis this Saturday. Ball State, Indiana State. It's going to be a great game. I've got Ball State ahead of Indiana in my Indiana basketball power rankings. Your thoughts, Mac?
I mean, Mike Lewis, Mick Cronin guy coming over there. They went 20-12 last year, 8-2. I think they're about to get fucking whacked by Indiana State, though. I think the Sycamores are on a whole different level than these Ball State. What are they? The Cardinals? Yeah. But hey, you got to give credit where it's due. 8-2, winners of 3 in a row. Their only loss, to Little Cock by 30. No big deal. We were on that one. I don't know how Ball State lost to Little Cock by 30, but college basketball at its finest.
Nick.
Yeah, Ball State's good, and I'm with you guys on Indiana State. I think we've been, me and Trevor and Huff have been kind of riding Indiana State. I've bet their team total like 4 times this year, and they just like don't miss. I feel like they'll run up the score on Ball State. I really like that matchup though. That'll be a really good game.
Remember the name Bashir Jihad for Saturday. 27 points, 10 rebounds. Great game for him for Ball State. The next one here was VCU 86-58 against Alcorn State. They covered the 14.5. Colby was on Alcorn State. Mac, where were you in this game?
I think I took the points just because I don't trust VCU. Good win though, but I did not bet this.
Yeah, VCU is hard for me to figure out. I go against them and they look awesome. I bet on them and they look shit. So it's really hard for me to get a feel for VCU. I think on our picks page I took VCU, but I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, it is, good stomp spot for them over Alcorn. But we'll see how VCU plays when they get into conference play.
I'd tell you, however, I'm 175 picks down the page, and I can't scroll to the top to know what column's yours. The next game on our slate was Charleston. They win by 15 against Rhode Island at home, 85-74, the Cougars here. Mac, your thoughts? Is Charleston just ready to roll again here in conference play coming up?
They're really good at home, and Colby can thank me for this. He wanted to lock Rhode Island. I said no. Rhode Island's not very good. Charleston's good at home. This line kind of reeks and telling you that Charleston's getting ready to fuck them up, and they did. So Charleston, I don't know. I think they're pretty solid. So good win. They're not as good as last year, obviously, the historic year where they won 30-plus games once the NCAA tournament. But you look at it, quietly winners of 4 out of 5 after the 1-3 slow start.
Yeah, I think Charleston, again, is one team that I really can't seem to figure out this early in the season. I think they'll be fine heading into conference play, and they'll rack up some wins. But against these bigger opponents, they did get a nice win over Liberty and Kent State. So I don't know. I just can't figure them out.
The chat's on to me here with the Ball State Indiana basketball power rankings. I've had us saying they're 356th in non-con strength of schedule.
You're just trying to shit on the Hoosiers.
It's just a bit, yeah.
It'd be Michigan, but everybody, by the way.
Notable player who didn't play for the Rams, David Fuchs or Fox, for the cultured college experience listeners out there. The next game on the slate was, Colby, I'm sure, would love to talk about this one. He doubted him once again, another big game for Colorado, and he's fading him. I don't know what's going on here, but Colorado plus 1.5 seemed pretty free the entire game, Mac. You locked this one up, correct?
Oh, my biggest play of the day. This Miami team is so overrated, man. They don't guard anybody. It was like a layup line out there for Colorado. Now, I'll shit on Miami. I think they're overrated. I don't think that they can go on another run. They miss Jordan Miller. They don't. They're even worse than they were last year defensively. Now, on the other side, Colorado's good, man. Lampkin, Silva, they got size. They play together. They're old. I think
they didn't even have Cody Williams in this game, by the way, who's been one of their most recent leading scorers. His past 4 games, he was averaging 19.5 points for the Buffs. So that was one of the underdog plays that I gave out yesterday. So if you played that one single, it pushed. But the loser and everything that I gave out yesterday was Doug McDaniel. We'll get to that in a little bit. Mac, anything else on the Buffs Canes game? I kind of jumped in and interrupted you there.
No, all good. You just look at Colorado. Yeah, they stumbled a couple times against Colorado State on the road. That was a good game. Florida State's the one that they kind of gave away, but this is an NCAA tournament team that can win games. I think they could get to the second weekend. Miami, I'm interested to see how they do in ACC play.
I agree. Mac, Actually, I'll go to Nick on this real quick. First off, your viewpoint, we're going to get to USC in a little bit, but I want to bring it up now. The top three in the Pac-12 seemed pretty clear-cut to us, in our opinion. It was a mix of Arizona, USC, Colorado. You could rank it any which way. Arizona currently the number one team in the country.
Yep.
Do you like Colorado more than USC currently?
After this type of performance, yeah, definitely. I think USC has dropped, especially dropping their game against Long Beach State today is like something that they can't do at home. And then Colorado in a neutral court, like stomps Miami, who, they're definitely not as good as they were last year. Excuse me, not as good as they were last year, and very bad defensively. But I still think beating that type of team by 27 points is definitely something that you can't just like go, brush to the side. Like De Silva had an awesome game. Lampkin was there getting boards down low. That's what Miami struggles with, the size. You put a big man like Lampkin down there. I mean, Omier fouls out. They have no chance. So yeah, I really like Colorado. I think having them at the 2 spot, obviously under Arizona, is probably where they belong.
Facts. Great points there. Mac, kind of did a state of the union here with North Alabama. They were favored in this game against Morehead State. Whether you want to say that kind of smelled or not, it's up for debate. But they lose at 9 at home against the Eagles here. What happened here?
I was kind of surprised by this one. I thought that they were going to get it done. They've been playing good basketball. They almost won at K-State. They were 5-4 headed into the game. Good win for Morehead though. So Morehead over Lesshead in North Alabama today comes through.
Nick, any input on this?
No, I think it's a good win for Morehead over North Alabama. Like Max said, that win over Kansas State made me, pay attention a little bit closer to them, but I didn't really have my eyes on this one today.
Rob Donaldson's putting Utah second in the Pac-12. And that wasn't an option that I gave the guys. But I like that Ute squad a lot too right now, especially after they just cashed for me against BYU yesterday. Next game on the slate, I mean, this was the Civil War in the college basketball experience landscape. We had the Tommies hitting the road to play Chicago State, and what do you know? The Tommies went in there and they took care of business by 16 against the Cougars. 16. Yeah. So do the Tommies have the road legs this year, Mac?
Dude, the Tommies are fucking rolling all of a sudden. 6-4. And watch out, Marquette Screaming Eagles. A little sleepy spot on finals week. The Tommies come in. They might freaking pass, pivot, keep the game within single digits. Who they fucked with Creighton last year. That's who they almost beat last year. Yeah, I'm locking them against Marquette. Let's go.
Yeah, Marquette has Providence at Providence after that game too. So
big time. St. Thomas they competed with Creighton on opening night last year. I think that's the one that you were calling back to. So maybe Creighton last year, they were looking ahead to the almighty North Dakota Fighting Hawks. So
you don't want to overlook them Tommies, man. The fundamentals are back.
True. You want to know who else had fundamentals? Central Arkansas, as they took down EIEIO. 73-70 on the road. This busted a couple of locks on last night's show, correct?
Yeah. Colby locked EIEIO. I was like, dude, you can't do it 2 in a row. Like it's a rule. That line reeked. I mean, Central Arkansas, what a week. They beat Little Cock and EIEIO. So 2-0 week for the Central Arkansas. What the hell's their mascot? The Bears?
Bears.
Yeah.
Yep.
When in doubt, it's usually a Bulldog or Bear. There's like fucking 50 of these teams that are Bulldogs or Bears. A lot of creativity in this sport.
Eagles, Wildcats.
Yeah, Wildcats. Yep. Yes.
Nick, any input on Central Arkansas, Eastern Illinois?
I was almost with Colby. I almost took EIEIO on my side too. Thank God I stayed away from it. But yeah, I almost took the cheese because that spread was very small for a team that I thought could definitely handle Central Arkansas at home. But thank God I stayed away.
All right, I'll give Colby his kudos on this pick, though. I think this is one of his favorite picks of the slate. He said it like instantly that the line was just off. Tennessee Tech, they lose by 1 at East Tennessee State, 73-72. This line was plus 7.5. I know he locked it up. Did you lock it up too, Mac?
Yeah, no, this was one he nudged me on, and I joined him. I agreed with him. I I thought it was a little high. Tennessee Tech's good as a dog this year. They've come through multiple times on some of these 6, 7, 8-point lines. So Tennessee Tech, good showing. East Tennessee State, I'm sure it's glad to get out of there alive. They could have lost this game.
Yeah, for sure. Nick, anything on this Tennessee battle here?
No, I agree with Mac. I think if they're catching, a couple possessions, they're definitely like in these one possession games, like they're right in there till the very end. So, if you're catching a couple possessions with them, definitely give them a look.
All right, Nick, I'll hit you with this one first. Memphis, impressive win. They go into College Station, 81-75. This one stumped the whole panel yesterday. It was a triple lock. Where were you on this game, and did you catch any of it? What did you think?
I honestly, this was such a coin flip for me because I really hate that this Memphis team is pretty good because I want to hate on Penny Hardaway. I really think Penny Hardaway is like not a good coach, but he seems to prove me wrong every time I say that out loud. So this is a really good win for them. I've backed A&M a lot this season, and they're also a very good squad. So definitely an impressive win for Memphis on the road at Texas A&M. I like I said, it was a coin flip for me. I didn't bet it. I think you could make an argument for either side. I did lean slightly towards A&M, obviously being at home and being how they've played all season. But I got to give it to this Memphis squad. They look really good.
Yeah, Memphis basically led for the entire game, and you touched on something. Maybe Penny questionable status as good coach, bad coach. Mac, I pulled a clip from a press conference. You let me know if this is good coach, bad coach. All right.
He's still sick, as far as I know. To be very honest with you, I got you.
So that's Penny Hardaway's response to a question in the press conference asking how Louisiana, fresh transfer from the portal in the latest offseason, Louisiana big man Jordan Brown is basically like missing from the team right now. MIA, missing in action. Good coach, bad coach. Your takeaways from this game, Mac?
Oh, first off, good win by Memphis. Fuck Jordan Brown is what they're saying. We don't need you. David Jones goes for 29. Javon Quinterly, 24. They controlled the game. Horrible pick by us. A&M never had a shot. And I talked about it too, man. I thought A&M was going to get their guys back. They got their guys back, but they got punched in the mouth right from the get-go. This was 3 straight road games for Memphis. Beyond impressive that they were able to get up here after going to overtime with VCU earlier in the week, and then they lost at Ole Miss. So well done, Memphis Tigers here. And I'm impressed. This team seems to be getting better. They were playing their best ball at the end of last year. And, at least with Penny Hardaway, he seems confused, but at least he's got a little shit to him while he's confused. It's not like Kenny Payne where it's like he confused me when he played zone defense. I was confused that we were losing to DePaul by 20 points. So well done, Penny Hardaway. Good job.
They've got tough games coming up too. They're Clemson and Virginia are coming to town. Like obviously they'll be at home for these games, but Clemson, we'll touch on it later. At least I will. Clemson is fucking impressive too, and them coming into Memphis is going to be an awesome game.
Yeah, I love the Tigers, the Clemson Tigers. I'm not sold on the Memphis Tigers yet. I mean, we'll see after the 2-game stretch you're talking about because it is. Go ahead.
One thing too, they don't have Houston in their league anymore. So I know they have FAU, but we saw them in FAU play last year. Those two teams, it was neck and neck. So I would say that they're probably 1-2 there in the American.
Yeah. In Penny's defense, he started to figure out Kelvin Sampson in Houston at the very, very end. Like he would knock him off once a year.
He has much talent. He's always had talent. Yeah.
Yes. That's never been the problem. That's one reason why I never really get fully behind Memphis teams. David Jones went for 29. Javon Quinterly went for 24. The rest of the team kind of, pedestrian numbers, just box score watching from this game. But still just an impressive win given the spot that they were in. The next game on the slate was I'm repping the baseball jersey. The Long Beach State Dirtbags, or the beach. They go into the press room, the TMZ zone, where all the casual basketball fans show up. I'm shitting on the situation. Like, shout out to Bronny James. This is his first game back. truthfully, like a hell of a comeback. It was actually pretty quick after cardiac arrest too. Very impressive. And in limited minutes, he looked pretty good. He was energized, had very good bursts of energy, sprinting down back and forth to the court. Had a couple of highlights. Granted, the media was putting out every little thing that he did from this game. Mac, your takeaways as the Trojans, the main headline of the game, they lose 84-79 to Long Beach State.
I saw this coming from a mile away. This team is fool's gold, man. Everybody, you got to always fade the team that gets all the hype. USC, I mean, why are they at the top of SportsCenter right now? When they lost to Long Beach State, you wouldn't even know that they lost the game outright and blew an 18-point lead. Now, They've not only lost to them, they've also lost to UC Irvine. They've lost 4 games on the year. We'll see how the committee does it when we get there. They're going to have plenty of chances because the Pac-12 is good. We talked about it with Arizona, Oregon, Utah, Colorado. They're going to have plenty of chances. Washington. But as of right now, this is an NIT team. They just have a lot of hype because they have a guy named with the last name James on the roster. So, hey, shout out to the James family. They won the made-up tournament. I guess that's how these LeBron fans want to try and, catch up to Jordan. But I hate to break it to you, that's not a championship. And Michael Jordan is still the GOAT, and that's the bottom line. That's all my NBA for the year.
Mac, you seem pretty passionate about this take here. What do you think about, COVID bubble championships?
Asterisks. Only because it fits my narrative. It probably counts, but he did have all the rules going in his favor. He's good when he can control everything, but he's not even close to the number 23 that played for the Chicago Bulls. Get that crap out of here.
Nick, your takeaway. I mean, Long Beach State, they go in there. Marcus Sahonis drops 27. Very impressive game. I mean, I still have some nightmares after him doing that to Michigan. So, Nick, your take.
Yeah, I think this Long Beach State is definitely a team that you can't look past if you're one of these big Power 6 teams. Like we've seen them, they've taken down Michigan. I mean, I don't know if you count DePaul for what it's worth, but now USC too. And like you said, USC getting all the hype from the media and everything. Obviously, happy Bronny James is okay and glad to see him on the court. And I think he'll be like a decent role player for this team once he's fully healthy and everything's going. But yeah, I mean, like Max said, if everyone's there with the cameras on them, I mean, Long Beach State was like walking into all of that and got the outright win. So good for them.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to touch on. That was a good point that you made early in the season. I liked USC, and I still think they have one of the better backcourts in the country. But as he settles in here, I'm looking to see if Bronny James is willing to adopt the role. I think he's more of a defensive player on this team and more of just kind of a morale type. I mean, you look at his box score in 18 minutes today. He had 2 blocks. He had 2 assists. I think he's going to be able to appear in the stat sheet in those kind of ways rather than the points. And then shout out to TVDBJ in the chat. One of your co-hosts on the podcast, the Pump Fake podcast. He goes, Bronny broke LeBron's NCAA point total today. So shout out to Bronny. Already won a trophy on your closet there. And Avetta is also in the chat, so I'm going to talk about I had a tweet, March Madness Twitter account. I don't know if you guys know the one that I'm talking about, but you would think the tournament that represents all 32 conferences, all 362 teams, is willing to tweet about and provide news on all of the games going on for the entire day. No, Iveta actually did the hard work and counted up their posts for today, and it was 10 of 14 were all about Bronny today. There were 30-something games going on, and you represent all of college basketball. So, in my opinion, it was just annoying. I know that's a big story, but Mac, were you going to say something?
The other thing to kind of put a bow on USC, because they are going to be a big topic from here on out. I know Baracho, or however the hell you pronounce it in the chat, say move on. Unfortunately, USC is going to be front and center from here on out, and I kind of think this is going to be a dumpster fire team because if Bronny's not playing as many minutes as LeBron wants him to play, I think there's going to be big-time distractions. Like you said, Bronny's a good role player, but he's not the type of guy that everybody wants to make him out to be. So I'm interested to see with the TMZ aspect, the distractions. I don't see this team getting to the dance, man. Too many distractions for me. Too much noise.
I'm interested to see or to know what that camp actually is thinking. Like, are they thinking this is like a one and done or 2 years and get out and go play NBA with dad, or this is a 4-year type thing? Because if he's a 4-year college player, I think he's actually going to be kind of good given a couple of years in this program. Nick, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I think we'll see maybe how things play out too, just with what happened to him early in the season. I don't know if I get what you're saying. LeBron might, intervene a bit and say Bronny needs to play, 30 minutes a game or something. But I guess it also depends on how much he can handle right now. So that also plays into is he going to be a 1-year guy and LeBron just pulls him up to the league because it's his league, or is he going to give him some time to play and, recover from what happened? Because I think, like you said, if you give this guy 3 years, on a college team, he's going to be good, but he's not going to stuff those points numbers in the box score. He's going to be exactly what you said. He's going to get you your boards, your blocks, your steals, and of course he'll score, but he's not going to put up, 22 points a game or whatever.
Yeah, and for those listening on podcasts, you can tune in on youtube.com/college basketball experience and jump in the live chat and interact with us throughout the show. Rob has a funny comment here too. Bronny also surpassed LeBron for total losses in the NCAA college basketball. And then also Avetta, I think this is the actual account that represents March Madness. I don't think this is one fan that runs the account.
Maybe he was just logged into the wrong account.
I don't know. Andy Katz posts shit from there all the time, and it's also wrong, and it just does it for engagements and clicks. So
unfortunately, it's not going anywhere, man. Unfortunately, they're gonna keep talking about him in USC.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's what you expect, right? This college football did the same thing with Colorado. These media outlets are going to do whatever people want to see, click on.
Yeah. Moving on, the next game, I believe the words that Mac uttered yesterday, most overrated undefeated team in the country. They go in and defeat UCF in the moon bounce, as Colby calls it, 70-68. And holy shit, they almost gargled up their food in the final minutes of this game.
That ending was crazy.
Ole Miss 70-68. Mac, your take.
I mean, they are the most overrated team. I mean, they're not. Houston's not overrated. Arizona's not overrated. Baylor, Oklahoma, Clemson, JMU aren't overrated. Ole Miss is lucky as hell. They got so lucky. He fouled them at the end, but I mean, they were the better team. UCF, man, they're so up and down. Good win for Ole Miss. I mean, they've been on a nice little streak here. I still don't think they're that good. They're still trying to figure out how they want to play with Musa Cisse and Sharp and all those guys, and they might get some more reinforcements. But good wins over Memphis, NC State, and UCF at the Bounce House.
Nick.
Yeah, I watched a lot of this game because I had the over 137.5, and luckily homie tried to brick that free throw at the very end, and it soared up into the ceiling and then came back down into the basket. Yeah. So that free throw covered the over. But yeah, I mean, I think like Max said, I think as a 9-0 team, we're not comparing them to Arizona for sure. But again, they have an easy, next couple games with Cal, Troy, Southern Miss, and Bryant. If they can give Tennessee a fight in that game in the beginning of January, that's when we'll really see them play like a team that's going to be way better than them. And we'll see how they fare against them. But yeah, their schedule, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're 13-0 heading into that Tennessee game.
I agree.
They're Mississippi State of last year.
Yes, I think so as well. But Mississippi State also made the tournament, and that's just what my prediction was for this Ole Miss team. I think they're good enough to get in. I had them 8th or 9th in the SEC. Yeah, what Nick was referring to is they play Tennessee Saturday, January 6th. That's their first SEC game, also their third road game of the season. So can't wait till we get the Vols in that smash spot as well. Mac, do you want to hit an ad before we finish the second half of the recap here?
I can do that for you because the college experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, because it has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long on NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. Noah, I'm assuming that we don't have any underdog plays for tomorrow because the slate is straight ass.
Yeah, because the slate is pretty bad right now. There's no current player projections out there. But reviewing from yesterday, the three that I gave out on the show, Cody Williams, 13.5 points. That was a push. It was voided. He did not play for Colorado. Doug McDaniel had 0 points in the first half. He finishes with like 11 and 7. Just completely fell asleep through the first half against Iowa. But Ben Krieke, I figured out that's how you pronounce his name apparently today, because I watched the broadcast. He went higher than 17.5 points. Again, Michigan can't stop the leading scorer of the opposing team. And Tyson Walker, higher than 15.5 points. This one was a sweat. He also had a slow start to this game for Michigan State, who ended up losing to Nebraska. We'll get to that game in a little bit. But, yeah, back to you, Mac.
Yeah, so I follow on the X, Twitter, whatever it is now. Noah Bieniek and the College Experience will give out some underdog plays tomorrow because they're going to be late releasing this, especially with the smaller slate. So you can watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you use the sign-up code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All right.
The chat's absolutely loving the ending of the Ole Miss game because it was very wild. But we move on to, UNC Greensboro. They don't get the cover. This one, depending on your number, you might have been hooked here. They win by 9 against Elon, 82-73. Mac, any takeaways from this game?
Yeah, me and Dundee locked this at like 13 last night. So this was a winner. Good win by Greensboro to get out of there alive. It's a little bit of a scare here, but Greensboro did their job. Don't lose a game you're supposed to win.
Nick, anything I hear?
No, I hate Greensboro because I had them against Eastern Kentucky their game prior to this, and they couldn't do anything until the final 30 seconds. So I hate this team. but no, good for them. I mean, Mac, you got some nice CLV on that 13.5. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah. That's what I do.
That's
why we do the show at midnight for the 1 millionth time, everybody. I don't just do it so I can drink and pound beers and yell at Colby.
Well, you kind of do it for that too.
It's part of it.
50-50.
The one thing Colby comes in handy for is the soundboard. If in case you haven't noticed, we haven't been playing any sound effects tonight. But if he was here, he would be playing like some Lock Battle victory music because Mac came out victorious here. I'm not sure Boston College ever really trailed this game in important minutes against St. John's. The Eagles win 86-80 against the Johnnies. Mac, both Colby and I locked this up. You were on the other side. What's your takeaway from the game?
Yeah, some more fade TMZ for me. So I faded Miami today. I faded USC today. Faded St. John's today. You're selling yourself a little bit short. They did lead by 10. Soriano had a big dunk, but I thought Boston College, man, bounced back after that out of the timeout. Quinton Post had a big game, 14 and 11 and 9 assists. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I think of this St. John's team. I don't think they're very good. I watched them against West Virginia. I know they found a way to win, but that's against 7 guys. And I just don't – I'm not bought in on the St. John's team. I can guarantee one thing. They're not going to be in the top 4 Big East like Colby said. So Colby's going to have to buy me a drink. They're nowhere near those other
me a drink too.
Yes.
Well, I said leading in important minutes because, yes, they were up 10, but they were also favored by 6.5 at the closing number as well. So, like, they were up a possession on the spread at their very peak during the game. But Boston College was always in this. And they had the lead for most of the time that I was watching it, given that also the Michigan game was on side by side for me. But, yeah, I mean, St. John's, I thought it was a good spot. Like, again, it was kind of like the Madison Square Garden spot for their first game in Brooklyn. I thought there would be a lot of hype here. And I wasn't sure how good Boston College is. I knew I was buying into them being better than expectation. I didn't think they would start off 8-3 by winning against a couple of backyard opponents and then jumping up and biting a couple of high majors like they have. So, Nick, your take on this game, maybe on Boston College or St. John?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. St. John's is very weird to figure out, and I think they have a problem just like sending teams to the free throw line like 100 times a game. Mac mentioned that West Virginia game. West Virginia shot 43 free throws that game. I can't believe that they didn't win that game. They had 31 points from the free throw line. Yeah, and then even with Boston College, like it was not that bad, but they still sent them to the line 28 times. So Boston College had 19 free points from the line. They couldn't defend the interior. Like Boston College went 26 of 42 from inside the three. I think Quentin Post is a monster. I think I really don't want to get in front of his way either. And Boston College has been good. And I think St. John's, again, like they're a good team, but I think they probably had higher expectations coming into the season than what we've seen from them. So I had no problem fading them today and locking up BC.
I had my popcorn out for this one. There was plenty of scoring. This one finished 90-80. Michigan went on the road, pretty much never trailed in the second half against Iowa. Iowa was 3.5-point favorites. We all picked the Hawkeyes. Colby locked Iowa. Did you lock Iowa as well, Mac?
I stayed away. I stayed away. Good win for Michigan, man. McCaffrey obviously gets tossed. So it was
hilarious, by the way.
Iowa's not very good.
I don't know why he was
not very good at all this year.
I think the difference for Iowa this year is like they don't have the same kind of shot makers as they have in the past. Like you don't have a Luka Garza and you don't have the Murray twins here. Your best guy is Sanford, who seems to be a little bit inconsistent right now. But yeah, I don't know what happened with McCaffrey there. Like what had happened was nothing too egregious in my opinion. It was a foul call that I thought was a foul, and that's not me being biased Michigan fan. I thought it was kind of weird that he got so upset about it, and then he got upset that he was teched, which caused the second tech during the first tech, and he was ejected from the game. Nick, did you catch any of this game? What are your thoughts on maybe Iowa's situation this year, or is Michigan possibly first half good like they were in the first three games?
Yeah, I was kind of, box score watching this one for the most part, so I didn't really catch a lot of that, the foul action or anything like that. But I think these two teams, it's weird for me to kind of figure out these guys too. I haven't really backed either of them all year. I've kind of just been watching for the most part the Big Ten really. But yeah, I mean, it was a good win for Michigan, but yeah, like you said, it was a team effort from Michigan. Doug McDaniel not really having the best of nights, but everyone came together to put up 90 points. I mean, they had 6 or 7 guys in double figures this game. So, and like you said too, the Iowa guards, like Sanford seems a little bit inconsistent. And like you said, they don't have like that main guy like Garza, a couple years ago. So yeah, I don't know.
And finally, I'll address this. There's been some rumblings, rumors, what have you. So Greg Waddell, if those of you don't know him, he's a part of Sleepers Media and the Field of 68. He took a video at the end of the game where there was just some coaching havoc. Iowa was down 18 points with about a minute to go, and Iowa being Iowa, they didn't take out their starters. They're pressing the backups for Michigan, and they caused a couple of turnovers. Then Michigan had to call 2 straight timeouts after failing to inbound it. And you have your bench coach assistant, Sadie Washington, telling Phil Martelli, who's the active head coach, to put the starters back in. Let's just close this game out. Martelli's like, no, let them figure this thing out. It's a little bit of adversity. They've earned the minutes or whatever. I think it was personally Bush League on Iowa, but where was Juwan Howard in this whole situation? He was nowhere to be found in the camera angle. You'd think like if your 2 assistant coaches and 1 acting interim head coach are discussing what to do with your current 5 players on the floor, that the original head coach would be in the conversation too. He just was not. Then after the game, there were a couple of rumors flying around. Maybe Juwan Howard thought that he was back in the Ultimate Slap Fighting League. I don't know.
Dust up.
But I will say, like I have mentioned this on the show before, there's only one name that I would like to request. It is Brian Dutcher, blank check. Push it over to San Diego State. We'll buy him out. Moving on, because I don't think it's going to be that serious. I think it's a lot of just rumor stuff right now. St. Francis was winning this game for not a majority, but like 5 or 10 minutes. They were beating Iona, and Iona pulled away with a couple of free throws late. They went 61-54 against the Red Flash. Colby was all over this one. He gave me a little bit of a nudge because, I love the fade Tobin Anderson. Mac, did you catch any of this game? And oh my God.
I lock battled you guys for a little fun here. I didn't put a lot of money on this one. I thought the line reeked that it was that high, but Iona's not very good, man. Iona's like, you mentioned it, man. I thought St. Francis might pull their third straight double-digit dog outright win, which would have been incredible. So, yeah, they were definitely the right side. Good pick by you guys.
Nick, anything here?
No, I didn't really catch it, but I agree with Mac, at least from what I've seen of Iona. Like, they're just not them this year. Yeah.
Lipscomb, they win 78-71 in the in-state battle against Tennessee. Mac, who'd you take in this game? Colby had the Tigers plus 6.5. I was also on Tennessee State. Your thoughts?
Points. Yeah, I mean, good win for Lipscomb. Tennessee State's been a weird team this year too.
Nick, anything here?
Yeah, I had Lipscomb minus 6.5, and I watched that whole entire game with Belmont, their last game, where they were like winning that whole game, and then Belmont decided to try in the last second to cover to get the outright win over them. But Lipscomb was in that one, and then I kind of like gave up on this game because Tennessee State was just getting 6-7 point leads with 4 minutes left, and I was like, all right, this is over. And then I get a notification that Lipscomb pulls it out at the end, wins by 7. So I definitely got lucky. But I think Lipscomb is like a pretty frisky team. I don't think they're like going to make any big noise or anything, but I think against these mid, bottom 200 type teams, like they can fight with them.
Mac, you were all over the, it wasn't buy low. This was like cellar, like below basement, well water, buy low spot on Oklahoma State minus 5.5. They win it by 15 against Tulsa. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, they were covering from the first media on. Like it was the buy in the seller spot. Good job, Oklahoma State. Much needed. They drilled them. Never in doubt. This was one of those ones that's nice every now and then where you take a favorite. And you know me, everybody. I like the dogs. I bet dogs. I'll bet 80% dogs versus favorites. But every now and then it's nice to take a little favorite here, and they just never in doubt. Never in doubt. Drilled Tulsa from the get-go.
Yeah, the guy that I gave out a shout out for, PJ Haggerty, he was basically a no-show. Most of his points were from the free throw line. Nick, did you catch anything of Oklahoma State Tulsa?
I did not. All I know, though, is that I will never back Tulsa. I think this program is a disaster.
Garbage.
They were 5-25 last year, and they still got the same coach. I'm not trusting those guys.
Looking at the box score, holy shit, Danny Dumbshit's right. 28 turnovers for Oklahoma State.
And they still win by 15.
That is so
incredible.
That's so bad. That's like almost as many turnovers as that team North Dakota State had today.
So I mean, like that game, I guess you can point to something in the box score that said, hey, this is kind of where this team went wrong. Michigan State, on the other hand, I really don't know if you can point to one thing and say, hey, they're like, this is where they lost the game. They just don't have a center. That's it. The opposing center, Rink Mast, who is a transfer up from Bradley, had 14 rebounds and 8 points. His front court mate in Juwan Gary had 20 points. Michigan State just gets dominated down low, and then Nebraska, they hit some threes at the end of the game to pull away. Mac, you won this lock battle. Both Colby and I locked up Sparty. You were on the Cornhuskers with Big Red. Is Michigan State phony? Is this a good win for Nebraska?
I think it's always a good win whenever you can beat Izzo. But yeah, I mean, Michigan State is not a good basketball team right now. Now, I will say, I am looking forward to betting on Michigan State in Big Ten play. I'm going to bet maybe, I don't know if they're going to have it fixed by then, but after Christmas. And they're a dog in some of these Big Ten games. I'm going to be all over Tom Izzo and Sparty. I can't wait. But, good win for Hoiberg. Lynn Sanity, a.k.a. Tominaga, baby, my guy. He got it going today. I mean, he makes some fucking shots. I mean, what did he finish from the field? He makes some shots out of his ass where I'm like, God damn, I can't believe he made that one. Tominaga finished 3 for 7
15
from
points, 3 for
Yeah,
7 from
he's
3.
good, man. He's good. That's what they do. Interested to see if they can make shots like they did in February last year when they were complete wagon. So good win for Big Red, and all of a sudden Michigan State 0-2 in Big Ten play.
Nick, you used to be like an East Lansing guy
Yeah.
here. What's going on with Sparty?
I don't know. It's sad to see that this like roster of guys just like can't get these wins. Like obviously they're being on the road going into a Nebraska team who's definitely a good team is a hard spot to win. But this is a game that Michigan State should win, especially with this type of roster. So I was on the Cornhuskers as well, but it's sad to see that just Sparty doesn't have it. But like Max said, when we get late into Big Ten play and especially like later in the season, like Izzo's going to get his guys going and we're going to get a really nice buy low spot on Michigan State.
Now, Nick, let me ask you this. You're a Duke fan. Does it concern you that their only team that they've really beat is Michigan State?
Yeah.
Like when you look at the resume?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw me tweet it like 2 weeks ago or last week after we lost to Arkansas. I said I think we just have to accept that Duke sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Duke and Sparty have North Carolina vibes of last year.
Arguably, like Duke going into the season had the best roster on paper, and this team sucks. Like they're just not good. Like I was watching a recap yesterday, and people like whatever I was watching SportsCenter or whatever, they're like talking about Duke getting a win over Charlotte. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like we beat Charlotte. Who the fuck
Your
cares?
preseason number 2.
We can't beat Georgia Tech. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Mac, you kind of mentioned it with the North Carolina of last year. I said that to you right after James Madison. Now, like, I was trying to pump the brakes as respectably as possible and not sound like a rivalry hater here. But this is a very similar situation in North Carolina of last year. They lose their stretch 4 and Joey Hauser, who was the most efficient three-point shooter of last season's team. A big role in the March Madness run to the Sweet 16, which gained a lot of hype for them. Then, I mean, they knocked off a Marquette team that had a Tyler Kolek broken pinky, I think, at the time. And then in the Sweet 16 game, they go to double or at least overtime. Marquise Noel drops like 19 assists on their head. If we're not talking about that March Madness run, I don't think this team's like as highly looked upon. And if Colby's here, he's just swearing up a storm about preseason rankings being a problem for the sport. Because I think it's just I think that Michigan State is the victim of unfair expectations at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but the only thing that I will push back and why I can't say they're Carolina, because of the guy coaching them. Like Hubert Davis is still unproven, like John Shire. Tom Izzo hasn't missed a dance since 1997. So I got to think that he's going to figure it out and they'll at least get to the playing game or be a 10 seed in March. So I don't know. They suck right now. I'll be the first to say it. I mean, I bet the shit out of Nebraska and I wasn't scared. I'm like, yeah, it's a buy low spot for Michigan State, but they suck right now. They're not playing well. They're not playing well together, but they're trying to figure some things out. So we'll see. I think Baylor might put it on them on Saturday.
In the final game of 4 in Brooklyn, Temple edges out Albany 78-73. I was on the Great Danes with the points. Mac, where were you in this game? Did you catch any of this one?
I did not. The final game in Brooklyn, I took Temple.
This one was close. It was tight throughout. And then Hajir Miller from Temple, he had 28 points in this game, really kind of the difference, as Albany didn't really have an answer for him. Nick, did you catch any of this one?
I did not catch any of this one.
Michael Huffer says Temple Albany was a great main event. Final game of the night. This was the main event for all of us. Kind of testy in the final minutes. Grambling plus 22.5, plus 23.5, wherever you got the number. They come through. They hit a 3 and then a couple of free throws late. Washington State wins the game 83-65. The margin of victory was 18 points. Mac, what'd you see from Grambling that got us across here?
I did not watch 1 minute of this game. I will be honest with you. I bet a shitload of money on the Dallas Cowboys tonight, so unfortunately, I had to somewhat pull for them against the fraudulent Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, you know what, man? I wanted both teams to lose, but I said if the Cowboys are going to win, I'm going to make some money tonight. But I was just score watching. Grambling, I mean, it's hard to lay 22.5 with fucking Washington State. I love Washington State, but that's a lot of points. Good cover Grambling to clinch another winning night for us.
Yeah. I was facing Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown in an important fantasy football matchup to get me into the playoffs. For some reason, I'm the second highest scoring team in the league, and I needed a win in the final week to get in. But now that I'm crawling in, people are afraid to, play against me. Nick, final game of the night. Did you even care? Grambling, Washington State.
Same as Mac. I was just box score watching. I see that Washington State didn't miss like any shots at all in this game. So impressive by Grambling to stay within that number. So good for them.
Good program.
Right. Yeah.
Game balls real quick here.
Grambling.
Nick,
Just kidding.
Nick, you're the guest. You got first pick. We'll get two of them here as we go through here. Game balls.
I think you had to give one to St. Joe's for taking down Princeton at home today. I think they're deserving of one for sure. Good win for them.
Mac, you're up next.
Watch out. Moneyline Mac is on a Buffalo. Beat down by 30 over the fraudulent Miami Hurricanes. Let's go. Colorado, let's go.
I'm going to go with Memphis. They go on the road to College Station,
Good
third
one.
road game in a row. They pull off the upset victory. Penny Hardaway's Tigers. They get the job done. Back to you, Nick, for the fourth game ball.
I think we'll give it to Nebraska. I think even though Michigan State, we're saying, they're pretty bad right now, not looking very good. It's still a good win for Nebraska being at home, getting a conference win. So I'll give it mine to Nebraska.
Mac?
I just shit on the ACC, but I'll go with my ACC school. The only one I like, Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
Gets it done against Slick Rick. Good win. Seriously, on a serious note, good win against St. John's in their home city. I know it's Brooklyn and they play in Queens and all that, but let's go.
The final game ball that I will give out here will go to Fordham. They started the day off hot. They pulled off an upset victory over North Texas. Those are the 6 game balls here for today. Nick, we had a fun thing planned here for you. A little bit of like a stock market game. Since you're not always on the show, before we get into picks for today's slate, and we don't have a very pretty slate, so we want to get a gauge on some of the teams that you're liking this season, some of the teams that you're not so high on. We called it just what teams are you buying, what teams are you selling. Hit us with a couple that you were thinking.
So I think one that we kind of already touched on is Ole Miss. I think we're seeing an undefeated team that hasn't played the toughest of schedules, but I think once they get into that SEC play, we're going to see them really start to take a couple L's and drop further down in the rankings. So I think, again, they look really good right now. They're undefeated. You can't knock them for that. But once they get into that conference play, they're gonna get a beating.
Earning brownie points from Mac. Good job, Nick.
Those bastards cost me money today.
All right, the next one, hit us.
This is kind of like a question mark for me. How do you guys feel about UCLA? Because they're obviously not having the best of seasons. I think we had some high expectations on them coming in, but I think this is kind of I don't want to be backing them heading into some of these big opponents that they have coming up. With Ohio State is their next game, then they have CSUN, and even going hosting Maryland at home, I think is a game that Maryland can play with them in. So I don't know how you guys feel about UCLA.
During the Pac-12 show, I think I was the most vocally against UCLA just because there's a lot of new pieces, a lot of young pieces, a lot of European pieces that just needed to adjust to the game of college basketball here in America. Mick Cronin's a good coach, though. And I think there's going to be a time to, if you're going to find some spots to jump on them and back them late in the season, like I'm talking like once the calendar flips. But yeah, I'm not super high on the Bruins. I think they'll be a bubble team, to be honest. Mac.
Yeah, you remember when UCLA beat what was it, Sparty in the bubble year? I kind of feel like they're more along the lines of that. That was at the beginning of Cronin. Felt like he kind of was starting over this year after that core went to the Final Four, went to the Sweet 16. It was a good run with that group, but it was time for definitely a new set of guys now that they're out. So I think it's going to take a little bit. I think they're going to be good in February.
How can anybody forget about that run? It was the superstar that was Pep Cronin, Mick Cronin's dad in the bubble. Like how can you forget about that? Every single minute.
It was a good 3-year run, man. They had a good with that core, man. Good run. I mean, one got to the second weekend 3 straight years. Yeah.
Yep.
And a Final Four.
Just Gonzaga, their Achilles heel. Nick, back to you here.
I think another team we touched on is the Colorado Buffalo. I think we're getting a buy high spot right now, especially after that stomping of Miami. But I think we touched on it too with our Pac-12 standings. I think I don't know if anyone considered them to be really in the top 2 coming down to the end of the Pac-12 regular season. But I think with that performance today, obviously they're going to struggle with Arizona and like Utah, like Rob in the chat mentioned. But I think this team with De Silva and Lampkin down low, I think, and they got a lot of good guys on this team. This is a very impressive team, so I'm excited to see them. So I'm ready to back them heading into the season, further into the season.
You're going to get an agreement from both Mac and I there. A lot of people have heard us high on this Colorado team throughout the show. So let's just go right to your next team here. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. Again, this is another team. Well, I will make this the last one. Again, it's kind of a question mark for me because I'm actually impressed with how they've started the season, especially coming off last season where they were 11-21. They have a couple good wins over Grand Canyon, a really close loss against Clemson, which I won't knock them too hard on. But South Carolina is 8-1 to start this season. Again, I think they'll probably struggle a bit in the SEC play when they play teams like Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, things like that. But I think that this team might make a little bit more noise. So I don't know what to do with them. I don't know if I should keep the stock I have in them right now or if I should get rid of it while it's priced high.
Mac, you're the former Gamecock. What do you think?
Sell. I think they're gonna hit a wall in league play.
Colby's the one Colby's the one that's high on this Gamecock squad. Me personally, like I can maybe see it, but I also know there are some flaws on this team. I'm not too certain that they crawl outside of the cellar. I think they're bottom 4 in the SEC still with Georgia, LSU, and Vanderbilt. But yeah, they might be strong enough to jump up and bite somebody. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think they could get some surprise wins in the SEC. So we'll end it with those.
Alrighty, Mac, let's hit the second ad before we jump into December 11th college basketball picks.
Oh, it's beautiful slate, and we are brought to you by on the College Basketball Experience Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, soccer bet with historical data and stats. Enter any parlay idea into the Hall of Fame bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get each and every leg broken down so you know which ones have the best value by hit rate. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users with researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame bets. Visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching. Start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All righty. We're back on the College Basketball Experience chat. Sorry, there's no over-under tonight on my cocktail run. Stocked up, and I got the cooler right here, baby. Come prepared on the college experience.
You are
prepared for these 11 games.
All right, you want to take the reins? Yeah,
I'll lead the way. Let me pull up tomorrow's games because it's a dandy. Let's lead it off. We got day basketball here, baby. Let's go down to Texas A&M Commerce versus Northern Colorado. This game is at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So day basketball. So this is a must bet for all of us. Northern Colorado won the game last year, so I am going to take the home team. In a pick'em, I'll lock up Texas A&M Commerce to get a little revenge here. Let's go. Who's coming, or are we lock battling?
All right. So you said this was must bet.
It's a must. It's part of the show.
It's just TCE tradition. I was gonna bet it anyway. This is my favorite play on the entire slate. Give me Commerce. They have the 15th ranked strength of schedule in the country. They've competed at home very well. And Northern Colorado, they are currently 1-3 away from home. Their one win was an overtime win against Chicago State that I don't think was very strong. So give me the Lions of Texas A&M Commerce, my favorite bet of the day.
Noah Bieniek.
The cocktail napkin has this one -7.
That's 2 possessions of value, if you're asking me. Nick, who you got here? You got to lock this. So
yeah, I'll ride with you guys and pick them with the home team that's definitely faces tougher competition. They'll be ready to take on a bottom 270 team in Northern Colorado. So give me Commerce.
Oh, nothing like taking the 4-6 team against the 6-5 team. Triple lock for everybody on the Texas A&M Commerce.
Friends to eternity.
This is the lock music tonight, baby. This is all we're working with, baby. All right, that's enough of that shit. Turn it off. There we go. All right, let's move along in the slate. We really need Colby to bring us his fucking music.
Brian, I mean, we literally have 11 games. None of them are that sexy. So you're going to have to jump into the mud if we're wanting some money on the slate. So let's go. Game 1. I love it.
Somehow I'm going to bet all 11 games. I'm going to talk myself into every angle. All right, let's go. Let's go. This is a good one. Yale is going to the Quinnipiac. Yale's coming off a game where they lost as a 16-point favorite to Fairfield, right? Was it Fairfield? I know they lost a 16-point favorite.
It was Fairfield, yes. But they played Friday against Colby Sawyer. Bring your pick to D.
Yeah, don't forget about that game, man.
They do have Kansas on deck. Yale's laying 8.5. Quinnipiac 7-2. I think Quinnipiac is fraudulent. On a game or on a slate where I got to force some locks here, I like Yale a lot here in a bounce back. I know they played Colby Sawyer. Colby picked Dundee's team. But I like Yale. I think they're a much better basketball team. Give me Yale. Lock it up. They're going to win the game by double digits. Noah, who you on?
I'm going to go with Quinnipiac. Not a ton of conviction behind the pick, but I'm questioning whether Matt Noling is completely healthy for Yale. And since his injury, Yale has not looked like the same team. He might be playing through something. So I like Quinnipiac. I'm not very strong opinionated on the game, but that's where I'll go here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm comfortable laying 9 points with Yale, but I'm not really comfortable betting on Quinnipiac either because, like Max said, I don't think they're that as good as a 7-2 record looks. So it's a stay away for me. If I had to take it, I would take Quinnipiac with the points.
Let's go Bulldogs. Only me for a lock, so what we got? There's a little bit. Just a little bit there. Oh, I do love this next one. This might be my favorite play of the night. The Delaware Hens are going to Bob Morris. Bob Morris catching 5. It was actually 5.5. Shop around here. You can actually, it's come down to 5. So this thing opened at 5, 5.5, maybe even 6. Like I said, favorite play of the night, a home dog here where I think their record is much better, or their record is much worse than they actually are. I think also Delaware is coming off the Xavier bye game win. I think this is a great spot to catch the Blue Hens. You look at Bob Morris, they've lost 6 out of 7, but their strength of schedule has been good too. I mean, they played Wisconsin, played Youngstown. Love Bob Morris here. They're going to win the game outright. I'll lock it up. 3 for 3 on locks, by the way.
Mac, this Robert Morris team lost by 14 at Xavier early on in the season. I think Delaware is just a better team. You looked at also earlier in the year, Robert Morris hosted my Point Park Pioneers. Shout out to the boys in the back. Not a very good team, in my opinion. They've got the one kid, Justice Williams, who's the transfer from LSU. I think it's a one-man show. I'm going to fade it. Give me Delaware here.
Are you going down?
I'm with Noah. I just locked up Delaware. I got 4.5. I'm going to take the 4.5 with Delaware. I think Robert Morris is just really shit. I think their offense is horrible. They're bottom 250 in effective field goal percentage. They're 330th in allowing field goals. Their 2-point defense is just horrible. I think Delaware is just the better team, and I think a small 2-possession favorite. I'll take them.
You locked this game up, Nick?
I already bet it.
Lock battle.
I needed a little push. I just need a little push.
So
let's lock it in.
Lock battle music. This is what we're going tonight.
Oh Lord, I don't even know. We discussed
lock battle right here, baby.
He's going rogue.
You guys are going down in one corner. Nick and Noah We're on Delaware. Moneyline Mac riding with Bob Morris is a home dog all day. All right, get this shit off. There we go. That's enough of that. Moving along in this slate. Oh, my God. This is the worst. Come on, StreamYard. You guys got to be better than this. Let's go to this game is filthy here. Let's go to Columbia. They're headed to Fair Dick over here. Columbia's laying 2.5 on the road. Nope. I'll take Fair Dick, but I'm tired of betting on against Columbia and Fair Dick. This is a flip of a coin. I'll take the points because I think it comes down to the last possession. You guys?
So I came into the day with 2 that I have already bet. This is one of them. Fairleigh Dickinson. What is Columbia? Who's Columbia to be laying points in a road game here?
I kind of agree with you.
This is Fair Dick's first home game in 3 weeks, Mac. That's one of your favorite angles here.
And you're talking me into it.
The Fair Dick, they have wins against Manhattan, NJIT, St. Peter's they beat at home, who's been pretty feisty in non-conference so far this season. So I'm on the Knights here. I think they might be able to get the Lions here.
Oh boy. I kind of want to lay the points with Columbia.
I'm staying off this one because Fair Dick just won 2 back-to-back road games. I hate taking teams after back-to-back road wins. Go ahead, Nick, on your
their first home game in 3 weeks, Mac. Come on.
Yeah,
they're celebrating.
I can see the angle for both of those, and like you said, laying points with Columbia on the road. Like I've watched this Columbia team play a couple games because I've backed them, and they've kind of bit me in the ass where I've backed them. I don't know, man. Honestly, the over could be a look. I think both these teams play pretty fast, and Fairleigh Dickinson isn't playing a lot of good defense. The teams are only averaging 16 and a half seconds per possession on offense against them. And Fairleigh Dickinson's defense is really bad. I think Columbia is a decent 3-point shooting team that can look to just put up more shots and get them to fall. So I kind of lean with Columbia and the over here, but I don't think I'm locking anything yet.
11 game slate, everybody. I mean, you're only going to get total leans once in a while, like once in a blue moon. The totals aren't really dropped on this show.
So Noah Bieniek is locking up the Fair Dick, his favorite Fair Dick from March Madness. Tobin Anderson's not there, so Fair Dick for Noah Bieniek. All righty, I'll take you to a lock. I think we just lost him.
He just disconnected. Yeah,
he said I've had enough of this shit slate. I'll take you to a lock right here. The Graveyard is headed to New Hampshire. New Hampshire is laying 14 points. Nope. Last time I locked up the Graveyard, they almost beat UMass Lowell outright. They're going to hang in this ball game. Give me the Graveyard. Stonehill 1-10. It's going to keep this within the number. Maybe sprinkle some on the money line. Let's go Stonehill, baby.
The best way I can describe Stonehill's KenPom page is Dustin Lynch's I'm Seeing Red, because there's a whole shitload of red all over this page. Stonehill, though, I think is the right side. I think we're getting too many points against the New Hampshire team that I think they have some good pieces. But at the same time, yeah, I'm not very confident in this pick. They're coming off a Dartmouth loss on the road. They come back home. They're going to win this game. I think it's too many points, though.
14 points is so many to be laying with New Hampshire. If I had to take it out, I would take the points with Stonehill, but I don't have the guts to be taking this game.
Hey, Nick.
What's up with Nick's
yeah,
audio?
your microphone, it might be switching microphones on you, by the way.
Yep.
So you're good.
All good. I'm on the Graveyard. I figured I would be on an island here, locking up a team that's lost 9 in a row. But hey,
you're not. I'm with Stonehill on you.
You coward! You're not locking it up.
No.
Give me the Graveyard. Sprinkle some on the money line. They might win this game outright. They're due. They're so due.
Dave sure says the audio is hilarious.
Oh, let's go. I can't wait. Till everybody bets New Hampshire tomorrow. Everybody's going down.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah.
You're
okay, good.
I was wondering what happened there. All right, let's go. This is an underrated game, guys. The Howard Bison are going to University
underrated
of
game.
Pennsylvania.
This is the best game of the night.
I know. I think it's – well, I mean, it's underrated because nobody's talking about it. Everybody's still talking about fucking USC lose them to Long Beach, but you wouldn't even know that. Penn's off the Kentucky loss. I like Penn here, but this line reeks, man. Courtney Love's here. I thought Penn would be laying more. Give me Howard. I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm on Howard too. They haven't played in like 2 weeks, so they've got some fresh legs. And you're talking about 1 day off and like after a Kentucky loss. To me, that's like playing a high major. It's a physical game more than you're used to. I like Howard.
Yeah, I think Howard can stay within this game. I think, like Max said, the line is kind of weird. I would expect Penn to be laying more than 4.5, 5 points, whatever it is. So I kind of lean with Howard there. And I think that number it might get seamed up. I think people will probably see that number with that short number with Penn and bet it. So we might be able to get a better number if we wait a little bit.
Agreed. All right, let's go to a game that reeks. This might be the reekiest game of the slate. The Jacksonville Dolphins are 6-3. They're headed down to Orangeburg, South Kakalaka here, baby. Oh, you know where I'm going. Jacksonville's fraudulent. That 6-3 record is so padded up by the strength of schedule. Every time they played anybody, they've gotten drilled. Love South Carolina State as a home dog. They're going to win the game outright. Eric Martin's going to get a big home win like he did against North Florida. South Carolina State outright. Noah, where are you going here, baby?
I need to see something from South Carolina State before I bet on just a smelly line. They lost by 9 at home against Bethune-Cookman on Saturday in their last game that I saw. Give me Jacksonville. I know they got absolutely blown to pieces against UCF, but they were on the road against a high major opponent. We're talking about SC State up against Bethune-Cookman. Those are the two games that I'm comparing here. So I'm laying the points.
MEAC and SWAC teams at home, baby. Nick, where are you going?
Yeah, this is weird to me. I kind of agree with Huff in the chat. Maybe take a look at the over here. I think both of these teams, I don't even know. I don't feel comfortable laying points with either of these teams. Like Noah said, what has South Carolina State proven to me to lay? So, I don't know.
All right. Me and the graveyard and the Bulldogs, we're just over here locking it up.
You're the one that's voluntarily doing it.
They're going to win the game outright. You take the points. Keep those points. Bulldogs outright over the Dolphins tomorrow night. I'm tempted here to lock this up. Alabama A&M's going to Samford. This game is somewhat regional, by the way. Alabama, they're about 45 minutes apart because we practiced at Samford when we played at Alabama A&M once upon a time when I was Austin Peay governor. I'm definitely taking the points. I'm not laying 18.5 with Samford, but I feel like the line's telling us that they might get fucked up here. No, where are you going?
I'm laying it with Samford. I think they're pretty legit. They already destroyed Alabama A&M's in-state conference foe, Alabama State. Did I say Alabama A&M?
Yes.
Alabama State. Samford already beat 99-67. I think that's a very similar opponent to Alabama A&M. They might have even played already this season, but definitely similar in talent. Samford's been rolling. They've won 7 games in a row. I'm laying the points with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to look. I don't know if it's out yet, but I'm going to look at a Samford team total on this one when it is out. Samford loves to play fast. They don't let teams play or like hold the ball on offense either. They let them run their possession and just get it out of their hands. So I think we're going to get a lot of possessions in this game. Same for A&M. They are not really stopping anyone on defense, and their defense is horrible. So I think Samford's going to be able to run up the score here. So once that line is out, I think it'll be probably in the high 80s. I'm not afraid to take that over with Samford.
I like that.
Yeah, they play fast. All right, let's go to the best game of the night here. And I know Noah Bieniek's been high in this puppy. Mississippi Valley State, 0-9, headed to the kennel to take on the Zags off a loss. The Zags are laying 4D. 40. I did not stutter. They're laying 40. I'm so tempted to lock Mississippi Valley State.
I think we have to, honestly.
I am so tempted. Gonzaga's got, I know they're off a loss.
Yeah, they have UConn on deck.
Has UConn on deck. Yeah, I'm doing
it. They host UConn,
too. They're going to lose by 33.
Oh yeah, they're not. It won't be close, but it'll be 36 points. I think this is one that you just take Mississippi Valley State, close your eyes, check the box score in about 2 hours, and just pray to God that's within 40.
Oh
Please,
my
please.
God, you guys
No,
are making me do it.
What's the cocktail napkin say?
40.5. Or no, the cocktail nap has it 37.5. So
We get an
it's
extra
only-
possession, baby.
Oh, you got a possession. Only a field goal, damn it.
you gotta wait to bet this game. You can't bet it tonight. Everybody's gonna bet Gonzaga on the bounce back angle and not really look at who they have on deck.
Gonzaga's going to have a ton of possessions.
Personally, I think Gonzaga is gonna have no problem scoring, and being that
Oh, yeah, they're like
probably
40.
and being that they're probably pissed off about losing to their in-state rival Washington, they're just looking for points in this game. I'm not gonna bet this.
Gonzaga's team total is going to be like 91. That could also be a look. Like Mississippi Valley State's opponents are averaging 15 seconds per possession.
LSU put up 106 points on Mississippi Valley State.
You guys are hating.
No, dude, I love Mississippi Valley State. I have an addiction. I have an addiction to betting them because their spreads are just so insane.
And for what it's worth, Gonzaga put up 111 on Arkansas Pine Bluff last week.
This has got to be a load management game, though. They just played on Saturday. Travel, you got to sit those guys out last 10 minutes.
I mean, there's no way they're playing their starters like 27 minutes a game, right?
Yeah, man. This is Mississippi Valley State all day, man. I'll lock this. But I want to wait. I do agree. I want to see if I can get like a 44.
Oh, I don't know if it'll get that high. If it gets that high, I'll be shocked.
I will not bet Gonzaga here. No way. And I know the chat's saying they're going to drill them. Yes, I know that. They're laying fucking 40. I know they're going to drill them.
We're not saying they're winning outright.
We know that they're going to get drilled, but I think that they'll keep it within 30 to 35.
How about this guy's first half angle? Michael Huffer. I don't know if he's meaning to say it for Gonzaga or Missouri Valley State.
Oh, but Zags for sure.
Can the Delta Devils just hang in the first half?
No.
All right, so second half.
No, we're banking on the back door where you got John Stockton's 3 nephews that are freaking 5'5" are in the game for Gonzaga, and hopefully Mississippi Valley State can bank in a couple free throws to lose by 39. That's
when Mark Few's grandson is in the game, Mississippi Valley State can backdoor it.
little fucking
Joe Few.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Few had 5 minutes against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul.
Yeah, perfect. That's what he's going to do against Mississippi Valley State.
All right, so the angle,
passing.
I'm locking it, but with an asterisk. I'm betting it tomorrow before the game. I'm not betting it right now at 40. I'm not getting enough value. I want some
bet
more
it
value.
and forget it tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
Bet that thing right before fucking tip, baby. They're going to be getting 43, 44. They might lose by 41. It's going to middle somehow. Maybe I'll grab Gonzaga right now and grab Mississippi Valley on the other end and be a real sharp. So, no, I'm not doing that. Let's go. All right, next up on the slate. Interested to see your guys' take because this line has jumped. Dixie State is headed to Cal State Northridge. Dixie State's off the loss. Noah, do you know if there's an injury or something here? This line jumped 3.5 goddamn points. This makes no sense.
Where is it at right now?
3.5. It opened as a pick.
3.5 for who?
Cal State Northridge is laying 3.
I have Northridge. Like I -1.5 is what I picked it at for the picks page. I was borderline gonna lock it if I got a nudge on the Matadors. I'll look.
I don't see anything on my end, but if you want to double check.
I like Dixie, but I don't know. The line, I'm spooked by the line movement. And I usually don't get into that, but 3.5 points on a Northridge Dixie State game. Who knows what somebody's freaking poisoning somebody up there in the freaking mountains of Cal State Northridge. I don't know what's going on. I'm staying away.
Yeah, it's weird that it moved that much. I do like CSUN's defense. I think they're pretty decent, but Dixie State, Utah Tech, whatever you want to call them, they've been good too. Their 3-point offense is pretty good. I don't know. It's weird. That line movement is weird. No injuries. Again, I'm kind of like you. I don't really super care about it. Like if I like Utah Tech, then that moving for me is good. But I don't know. It's a hard game.
The actual injury that I dug up in this game is Deshaun Allen Ikens, who's an important player for Northridge. Didn't play in the last game against Bethesda. Non-D1, however, it's still notable. They could have rested him for a D1 game against Utah Tech, but
right.
I'm still on the Matadors with Northridge. I'm not going to lock it, but I got -1.5 earlier. I'll take -3.5 still. The cocktail napkin had this thing at -4.
CLV, maybe you're the one moving it with your cocktails. All right.
Yeah, who are you sending that to, man?
Yeah. Hey, you're freaking over there, freaking taking Jaeger bombs, moving lines. What the hell are you doing over there in that fucking basement in your LeBaron? All right, what do we got left on the slate? All right, let me take you to a lock here. The New Orleans Privateers, right? Yeah, Privateers are headed to San Francisco. San Francisco's laying 19? No. San Francisco should not be laying 19 points.
You're on the wrong side of this.
No, I'm not. Lock battle me.
You can't. I'm not betting this. This is an insane game to bet.
I'm all over the Privateers.
You think this is a letdown spot after Vanderbilt? San Francisco is just a better program than Vanderbilt right now.
19 points?
They beat DePaul by 16. They beat Purdue Fort Wayne by 16. They're a good team. They beat Minnesota by 18. They beat San Francisco by 32.
The Privateers are better. They're coming off the Vandy win. You're right. They're coming off the Vandy win. I'm all over it.
It's not a letdown. They're a better program. They went into that game knowing that they would win.
It's an SEC opponent. I'm all over it. They just played 3 straight high majors. You think they're going to get up for New Orleans? No way.
New Orleans
lock it up.
New Orleans got drilled by 28 to Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's good. They're in the Big 12.
Dude.
Oklahoma State beat Tulsa by about 30 tonight and had 30 turnovers. They're a good team.
New Orleans has 3 wins against non-D1s, and their only D1 win is against Central Arkansas.
Buy low spot. Here we go again. Lock up New Orleans. It's going to hurt.
You are nuts. I'm not laying the points 13, with a lock, but you are
take that
nuts.
Cocktail nap and swipe your ass with it. Where are you guys going? No lock here?
Well, I've already voiced my opinion. Nick, what are you going here?
Yeah, I think this. I don't want to lay those points, but the thing is like I think Trevor said in the chat, like USF team total is definitely a look. I think it'll be like 83, but I think if they score that many, I think they're going to cover the 20 points too. I don't know if New Orleans is going to be able to put up, mid 60s. So I guess I'm leaning towards San Fran minus the points.
They just blew their wad with 82 points against San Jose State in a losing effort.
They were
won the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sure, you can tell yourself that
San Fran is much better than San Jose State.
No, they were winning for 25 minutes of that game against San Jose.
They should have won the game against North Dakota where they were overtime too, and they should have probably beat Minnesota where the Golden Gophers beat them by 33 to go along with that 28-point loss to Oklahoma State. So I think San Francisco is better than both of those Power 5 basketball teams.
Danny dumb shit. Wait till I run this table with this beautiful lineup I got on this card. The grosser, the more it's gross, the more I like it. My numbers are saying I got good value on my Privateers. So where's my theme music? Where is it? There it is.
Your numbers are your beers.
Yeah. Cheers. Let's go Privateers. Lose by 15, man, all day. They're banking a couple shots all day.
You're nuts for locking this one. And you said this was
you said the same thing about Coppin State, Alabama A&M, the Graveyard the one time. They all fucking win. They're good teams. They keep playing.
I can't believe you started off the handicap with one of my favorite bets of the day.
I love it, man.
It's a limited slate in his defense.
You're nuts.
Oh, you guys are going down on this one. You didn't lock it though.
No, I'm not crazy.
Right. Let's read off the locks. If I can read my handwriting, been drinking all day, freaking yelling at the TV during all these games. All right, I'll lead it off with the standalone game, and this is a triple lock. We're all on Texas A&M Commerce against Northern Colorado. They're the Lions, right?
No, Northern Colorado's the Bears. The Commerce is the Lions. Yeah.
Love it. All right, we're on Commerce here. I'm going to lay it with the Bulldogs here in a bounce back against Quinnipiac on the road. Yale, the Bulldogs. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna leave three off on purpose, just so when you're reading it off, I'm gonna interrupt you and say, "Oh yeah, I'm locking that up too," like Colby does to me. So
you asked for me to interrupt you the first game.
yeah, whatever you say. You and your freaking cocktail napkin over there. Wait till the Privateers win tomorrow.
Oh, that name sticks. Shit on the wall, but it's stuck.
The Yale Bulldogs lay it against Quinnipiac. Bob Morris outright over Delaware. You take the points too. Home dog there. Love it. Love that spot. Love another one here. Another home dog. South Carolina State. I got a bunch of Bulldogs here tomorrow. They're going to beat Jacksonville in a nice spot in Orangeburg. I'm on the graveyard once again, going back to the well of the great graveyard at New Hampshire. They're getting 14. Take it. Let's go. And, of course, I'll take my Privateers in the late window at San Fran. And the last one, we're going to wait till right before tip, and we're going to bet Mississippi Valley. Once we're 5-0, we'll have a little bit of a Commerce money, Bob Morris money, graveyard money, Bulldog money. I have all kinds of money, and I'll bet on Mississippi Valley State, and then I'll just black out, and it'll be good. So that's it for me.
So I'm going with A&M Commerce, the first game of the day. That's my favorite lock of the day against Northern Colorado. Commerce's schedule has been actually really good, 15th on KenPom, and Northern Colorado's 1-3 away from home. Their only win is in overtime against Chicago State. The second one is -4.5 with Delaware at Robert Morris. I just think Romo is a one-man team with Justice Williams. And I don't think they're very good. When my alma mater is competing with you in a basketball game and they were winning for 30 minutes of it, I think you're phony. And then Fairleigh Dickinson +2.5 against Columbia. Columbia does not belong laying points anywhere, especially on the road. And this is Fair Dick's first home game in 3 weeks. They've been competitive at home. I think they catch the Lions here in a good spot. So those are my 3 bets here for Monday's slate.
All right, I'll go into mine. I'm with you guys on Commerce. Definitely going to take that at noon. Got to watch something while we're at work. Then I'm with Noah with Delaware -4.5 against Robert Morris. And I think I'm going to go against you guys. I'm going to lock up Columbia -2.5 for FDU. I'm going to let them kill me one more time. I'm going to ride with them, take Columbia -2.5, and then once Sanford's team total is out, I'm going to lock that up. I'll take it anywhere up to like 88.5. I think it should open at around 86.5. I don't know if we have it, but that's definitely what I'm going to lock. And then like Max said, I think if we wait a little bit, maybe early tomorrow morning, we'll get Mississippi Valley, hopefully over that 40.5, 41 mark. And I'll just take that just because I hate myself.
We needed above 6 touchdowns. That's what we need.
Yeah, I think if they can limit Gonzaga to just a couple touchdowns, maybe backdoor with a punt return or something, we'll be good.
I don't know how many more of these gross ones I gotta hit for you guys in the chat. You guys keep doubting me on my beautiful gross ass teams that keep cashing left and right. So that'll do it for another edition of the College Basketball Experience. Pick Dundee's back tomorrow night. Like I said, it's going to be a week slate every single night this week. Unfortunately, kids are in finals
week.
Yeah, even though where's it at? Academics #1, basketball #2.
For audio listeners, he's holding up the #2 when he said #1.
Yeah, these fucking kids don't go to class. That shit's overrated. C's get degrees. But anyway, I'm Moneyline Mac. He's Noah Bieniek. He's Nick Famelot. And thank you, Nick, for stopping by. You want to plug a couple things before we get out of here, man?
I appreciate you guys letting me hop on. You can follow me on Twitter at CBVNick. It's on the screen. And then also we got a pod with some of the guys in the chat, TVDBJ and Huff at Pump Fake Pod. Trying to follow in these guys' footsteps, doing some college basketball, content over there as well.
Good stuff.
No doubt, baby. No doubt. Go check out those guys. Go check out Noah Bieniek. College baseball experience will be going before we know it, man. I hope you know that.
conference preview season's already kind of starting up a little over here. What finals week is a perfect week for me to start doing some conference prep for college baseball.
And we might look into a bracketology episode this week, so make sure you got all the notifications turned on. Seems like a good time. Everybody's played about 8-9 games, got a more of a sample size. We won't go 3 hours like we did the first time. We wanted to break down the actual process, so it'll be more just slotting teams this time around. So go check out the main sports gambling podcast with Ryan and Sean. I know Sean's down a little bit tonight after his Eagles, but go check out those guys. Go check out the college football experience as well.
It'll be an entertaining show at the very least.
Oh, it always is. Go check out the college football experience, him and the Bottom Line Bombs tomorrow. Colby will be there tomorrow as well. Go check out the FCS experience and go check out the Big 12 experience with me and Rush and Troy. Best league in America, hands down. Can't wait to get Colorado, Arizona, Utah, and Arizona State. So that's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow night with Pick Dundee back as pilots, and I'll be back just making jokes on the side. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night, and we are out of here.